It's one I've been excited about and tracking. I know, Alex, you as well. So our final story here is about AIDO Cell. AIDO is how it's spelled. A general purpose cell simulator that maintains cellular state, accepts interventions, and predicts multimodal biological outcomes. The goal, make experiments computable before the run in the lab. Cell simulation could reduce wet lab experiments 1,000-fold. If AIDO Cell can predict which experiments will work, instead of testing 10,000 compounds in a wet lab, you can simulate them digitally, again, in silico, and test only the top 10 that the simulator says is going to work. This is going to drop the cost by orders of magnitude. Let's watch a quick video here, and then we'll go to the conversation.
Traditionally, biologists have relied on lab experiments, in vitro models, to understand how cells behave. Now they can use AIDO Cell, GenBio AI's virtual cell world model, to simulate the same biology in silico, combining multimodal, multi-scale detail with sequential experimentation in ways no microscope or wet lab assay could achieve alone. At its core, the AIDO platform is a rich, stateful simulation environment powered by the first world model of a human cell, one that predicts what happens at every level and remembers every change you make along the way, from DNA and RNA to protein interactions, structures, and localization to the whole cell, including cell-painted morphology. The model simulates cellular responses to genetic perturbations and treatments with small or large molecules. These can be layered in a sequence, providing the ability to watch the cell's full multiomic response with each step. The kind of insight that could mean computationally testing new drugs designed in cellular context before they ever reach the lab bench. AIDO can be easily adapted to new cell types and indications. Using your own data, you can build models tailored to your research questions to simulate different cell types from shape down to genes and their protein structures, where they end up in the cell, what they interact with, and how they affect cellular responses.
Wow, this is the foothills of longevity escape velocity. I've been waiting for this forever. Alex.
Medicine is cooked. This is what people like the catchphrases, read my lips, medicine is cooked. This is what the end of medicine looks like. It looks like a virtual cell. And
for the beginning
by the way,
of longevity escape velocity, let's put in the positive.
I actually think we can get probably to LEV without solving all of medicine. My bet is it'll be probably a class of molecules, maybe like 4th or 5th generation GLP-1s that get us to LEV. I think this is actually a superset of getting us to longevity escape velocity. I think this is how we cure all disease everywhere. And the way we do it is we build a virtual cell. It's just like we didn't actually have to solve human intelligence to solve AGI. It turns out you can just get AGI from compressing general human knowledge. It's not that hard in principle. Similarly, I think this is how we solve all disease. It's not that hard in principle. You simply train the world's best foundation model to model all cell states and all interventions against cells. And then you do like an AlphaGo type tree search against possible interventions to discover how to steer a virtual cell state from a diseased state to a healthy state, and then generalize that to tissue and organisms. And boom, you've solved all human disease. I think that's like the end game.
This is hyper-personalized for you, right? You insert your DNA sequence, right, and your current blood chemistries and all of that, and there's an in silico model of your biology, and it will tell you whether this drug works for you or doesn't. Celine?
Yes, but I also, just on that, I don't want to like over-romanticize the personalized aspect. It's an ideal virtual cell is as personalized for you as, say, if you feed a quote-unquote personalized prompt to ChatGPT, the output is personalized for you. Well, yeah, superficially, it's a function of the inputs, but actually it's a generalist model.
Salim, your thoughts, pal?
Well, this has been a trend. I'll go back to the biotech stuff, right? We've been turning biology into information. When you turn something into information, it hops on the exponential curve, and we're seeing this go through live. And each of us have what, 50 trillion cells in the human body,
yep,
right? Roughly. Essentially, when you can model that, essentially a human being becomes a software engineering problem. And we have really good techniques to navigate software, read, write, understand, et cetera, et cetera. And the phenomenal, amazing thing for me. We've done a good job in reading. You have reading, writing comprehension, right? When you're trying to learn a new language, in this case, the language of biology, we've done a pretty good job of reading. We've started to do writing with CRISPR and now these mRNA vaccines, etc. This gives us a huge depth into the comprehension side with the digital twinning that can take place. So holy crap, this opens up the door. I would go with Alex's comment that medical is cooked.
Imad.
Which is well taken. At least the government is sitting on a lot of data, and the government could externalize all the data to the private labs like CZI and AIDO Cell and others who are all building foundation models, like make it a public good that they can all train off of, a common crawl.
Yeah, we've done that in the UK. Again, that's much better than building an atom bomb even, because it will have the biggest impact on humanity ever.
Dave?
AI with some other innovations, it could be more like 1,000,000x. It's totally data starved. The full cell simulator is a way that it can design thousands or hundreds of thousands of experiments and get reasonably good test results back through a simulation rather than having to run millions of assays. That also applies in all kinds of other areas where every investment we've made in a company like Mercor or Mikado that is wrestling with new types of data to feed the AI, they're thriving and growing and making money and valuation. Mercor's worth 40 billion, or 20 now, 40 by the end of the year. They're just absolutely killing it. But every field of endeavor is going to be data starved. So no matter what you probably know a field that needs to supply data back to the great AI. The full cell simulator is just the perfect biotech solution, but every industry has a solution.